This video is going to look at forms validation, and let's jump right into it. So form validation is where you tell the user's computer to check their inputs before sending that input to the destination. So you've seen this before if you've tried to type in a password that says your password's not long enough, or it doesn't have enough of complicated characters, or stuff like that. That's all form validation. That's something that's happening on your computer. It's not getting sent anywhere. We've just told the website designers just told your computer, here's what we need to have happen before you send it. And this helps because if we didn't, then it would have to send it off to the wherever you're sending it. They'd have to check it, then they'd have to say, oh, this is no good, send it back. And that just wastes time, wastes kind of bandwidth. And so form validation, if there's things we know for sure we want to see, we can have those be checked before sending them. And this is done with modifiers on the input tag. So we've talked about input before, and now you can just add additional attributes. So after you've identified the name and the ID and the type, you can also add these other attributes to validate or check things before it gets sent in. So there's a couple basics we're going to talk about in this class, and those are, first you've got required. So if you type required, that means that it has to be input. If they don't fill something in, it'll say, come back here and fill this in. Then you've got min, which sets a minimum value. So this is a number. So it has to be at least 5. 5 or bigger, 10 or bigger, something like that. You've got max, which sets the maximum value. So you can't pick a number bigger than 100. So if you want to have it in a specific range, you can set a minimum and a maximum value. You just say min equals 0, max equals 10, and that would force them to pick a number that's between 0 and 10. Then you've got min length, all one word there. And this sets the minimum number of characters. So for like a username or a password or an essay that you're writing, there can be a form validation that says minimum length, and it'll count up all the characters. And if you don't reach that number, they won't let it go through. Conversely, you have max length, which sets the maximum number. So if you don't want it to be longer than 100 words or 100 letters, 100 characters, you can set that. And then like with minimum and maximum, you can also set a min length and max length at the same time, and that will keep it within a certain range. Finally, you've got pattern, and we don't need to spend a whole lot of time on it. You'll see it in the practice. It's basically, there's a way to do some stuff in programming that says only accept these types of things. What this is functionally for is if you want to make sure that they're only entering numbers and letters. You can use the pattern and you can set things up so it only accepts numbers and letters. Or numbers and letters and certain punctuation, or only punctuation, or only numbers, things like that. This is what lets you do that. It doesn't matter at this point, like I said, how that works. There's a little bit of stuff that's a little more technical as far as computing goes. But if you're curious about it, we can talk about it in class. But otherwise, that talks about form validation.